I've really not been looking forward to recording this one. It's how much have I spent in 2020? If my partner watches this, just to let you know, all the figures in this are going to be way over dramatised for the purposes of YouTube. No, they're not. Oh. Feels very weird to be sat in Scarlet in the middle of nowhere on a snowy day. It just doesn't feel right, does it? I would have the roof down, but as you can see, if I did that, you would get blinded by the sun. So, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, if you're watching this before New Year, I hope you have a very good New Year going into 2021. Let's hope it's a better year than 2020's been, which, let's be honest, as we all know by now, we've kind of run out of superlatives to define what a shit year it's been. However, don't like to talk about all that sort of stuff. I'd rather live in a nice wee bubble. And no, I'm not talking about the family bubble, I'm talking about a bubble of blissful ignorance where you just sit quietly and don't bother about what's going on round about you. Let's just talk about the car. So as we're going to be talking about primarily just how much I've spent on this car this year, I have a list, and it's a rather big list actually. It's a list full of things that I didn't actually realise that I had bought this year. Now, I know that the Carbore YouTube channel started up properly in like April time. I know this channel did exist in a previous guise before that, for a couple of months, but yeah, obviously anything that was done to Scarlet before the channel was rebranded is on the list, just for this year anyway. So then, we need to get stuck in about it. So if you've got a drink, or if you've got a vape, or a cigarette, or if you don't do any of those things, just sit and watch. And we'll begin. I'm going to start by, first of all, guessing how much I've actually spent, because in all honesty, since I wrote out the list, genuinely I haven't actually worked out how much it is. I haven't calculated it. We're going to calculate it during the video. So I've got everything pound and pence written down here. I'm going to have a guess at it. Feel free to have a guess in the comments as well if you want before actually getting to the end of the video, but I'm going to hazard a guess that this year all combined parts must be about 1,000. I'm going to say £1,480, and I'm going to write that down and we'll see how far off I am. £1,480. Right, so if you're sitting comfortably, let's begin. How much have I spent this year and on what? We'll start off with the exterior parts to Scarlet, and the first thing up was a replacement door mirror. You don't know about this because this happened before the channel started its proper in earnest. It's basically the driver's side door mirror. Now, I've got electric mirrors because this is a UNOS import, and the people walking by in shot. Great, fantastic. Now I need to do that again. I'm not going to do that again because I have tried to record this video about 18 times today and I'm fed up. We're just going to keep going. It. Now, the wing mirror. this is a UNOS import, so they're electric, and trying to source an electric door mirror for an MX-5 is by no means an easy feat, and it cost me £45 for a replacement one of those. £45, and that was a breaker. That was not brand new. It's not brand new. It's second hand, and I had to repaint it. It was damaged when I got it. So yeah, £45 for that. The door seals that run along the door here, they were badly perished on Scarlett when I bought her. So I replaced those in January. That cost £75.75. Had to replace the windscreen wiper as well. One of those, the spring had completely gone on it, so rather than try to fix it, I got a salvaged one. That was £18.90. Again, had to repaint it. The one that I got was actually in worse condition than the one that I had on the car. So I had to sand it back, paint it, put it on. Fog lamp. There's been 2 of those fitted to Scarlett this year. The first one was a cheapo, which cost £10. And it was basically a placeholder because the original one that came with the car had rusted off. And I put a new one in there just as a stopgap. It was a tenner from MX-5 parts, until I could afford to buy the one that I liked from eBay, which cost £80. Oh, yeah, I know, for a lamp, but unfortunately that's true. The side indicators, they were replaced for some clear lens ones. Those were £35. The turn signals, the TSIs as they're known, they were replaced. The OEM ones were swapped out for clear lenses. Those were £74.95. It's a lot of money on lighting this year. We haven't even got to the best one yet. Retaining rings for the new BV Autos kit that I fitted. This isn't actually from BV Autos. I got these off of MX-5 parts. Those were £24. It's just, again, for 2 pieces of metal that hold the light in place, daylight robbery. The BV Autos Halo kit itself, that came in at £79.99. Right, I think that's reasonable. I know that if you go onto eBay or Amazon, you'll find Jeep 7-inch headlights that fit an MX-5 for £40, and then you have to do all the soldering and the wiring and everything, and then it'll fail an MOT, potentially, if you're in the UK. If you're outside the UK, an MOT is something that every car in the UK has to pass annually. It goes in and it gets tested. A lot of these aftermarket, cheap variant of these lights don't pass the MOT because of the pattern on the beam, so it just depends. It might even vary from tester to tester, but as far as I was led to believe, the BV Autos Halo kit works like a dream, so I didn't see any point in not just spending the little bit extra, having that peace of mind that it will pass an MOT, and also knowing that I don't have to do any soldering because it comes with the wee clip kit as well. If you pay, I think it's an extra £15 or something for that with the kit. Let's say that was £79.99. As far as I'm concerned, it's a bargain because the job was done in an hour, and they look amazing, let's be honest. What else was done on the outside of the car? Mentioned the TSIs. Oh, the front splitter, the air dam, whatever you want to call it. This was an expensive, I'm trying not to say human error, because that would mean that I would have to assume the blame for what happened at Glenative when I was caning it down that road. You insert the clip here. That was painful. That splitter, I didn't film doing that because I was so consumed with rage about everything that had happened. That cost £185.32 for a piece of plastic. I know you can get them cheaper. Again, I wanted it next day. No waiting about, no nothing. It had to come next day. I wasn't willing to wait 6 weeks for a really cheap one to come through that would cost about 80 quid less. I wanted it there and I wanted it then. So that was £185. The suspension, that was a job. The Meister R Zeta CRD coilovers, those came in at £810. Yep, take a quick vape for that one, I think. That's Now, don't get me wrong, spoiler alert, when I do actually put up the review, that's not a review, but it's a review, not a review, you know what I mean. When I put that up, bit of a spoiler alert, they're worth the money, they really are. £810 for those. Had to buy replacement drop links as well, those were £32. That's pretty much it for the exterior of the car. There was a couple of other bits I had to buy. Now I'm not listing, you know, most of the other stuff that you would buy, waxes, cleaning, whatever else. None of that. I'm not listing any of that rubbish. But what I am listing is the paint that I had to buy this year, because Scarlett had chrome all the way around the outside, and it was earlier on this year that I actually peeled all of it off. Most of it had already been removed on the front of the car last year, but I hadn't removed it off the side or the back of the car because I was scared of what would happen to the paint. So I left it because it was winter last year. I'm not going to do this just now. I left it, and I did that again. This was off camera. It might have been just as I started doing the channel. Wasn't overly confident, and to be honest, didn't really know what I was doing with it. So basically just a heat gun, or your other half's hairdryer, is what I did, and then sat there and slowly tease it all off the bodywork, hoping that the paint would stay where it is. Unfortunately, a lot of flakes came off with the hideous chrome that was all the way around the car. So quite a lot of paints had to be bought, not just for that, but there was also for the windscreen wipers, and what was the other thing I needed to buy paint for? There was a couple of the blemishes. Oh, the wing mirror, that needed paint as well. So added that all up. I got the CU red from MX-5 parts. Again, they're expensive, but you know, I knew I was getting the right one. So that was £65 just for some spray cans of paint. A couple of other solvents that needed to be bought in order to remove the chrome and whatnot. That got £30. I'm not including the body filler, that was done last year. That's all the exterior parts for Scarlett. Interior now. This is where, that's a lot. Don't worry, we'll add it all up, we'll get there. The interiors had a lot of work done this year, as we are all well aware now. And she looks a lot better, let's be honest. I mean, it's not... Scarlett's interior wasn't great when I bought the car. It looked great in photos, and if you weren't close up, it would pass muster. You would look and go, yes, that looks nice. But when you're actually sat in the car, you realise the camera's been very kind to this car. So thankfully, I think it looks a lot better now. I don't like, you know, giving myself praise by saying, oh my god, this thing looks amazing now in comparison to what it looked like. It's not the best. There are faults still of things I've done wrong, that if I could have the time back, I would do it again. But most of it, I think, looks great now. So, how much did that all cost? Well, start off with a cheap part, the leather. The actual leather itself for wrapping around all of the crash pads and the dash, that only cost £32.40. It was an Amazon special. Jazz Performance cup holders, which come complete with toggle switches for the electric windows. That cost £65. Yeah, no, expensive. The felt, however, that lines it was like £4, not including that in this. We should, but I'm not going to, because I think I had already bought that ages ago. The HVAC panel and control knobs, that is, I think these are Jazz Performance as well. Basically, this was done again before the interior was actually fitted, because it was annoying me so badly. It's basically just this panel around the front and the wee knobs that go around it. That was £68 in total. Jazz Performance, where are we? Jazz Performance toggle switches. The lights up, lights down. That was £40. It's plug and play. Take the old one out, put that one in, screw that all down, and it all looks lovely. It's also hiding some of the old glue underneath there that I couldn't get off. Demist vents. These little things that sit on the dash. The ones that were on Scarlet were chrome, and as we know, I hate chrome on this car. I hate it with a passion. So I have been obliterating as much of it as possible, which is rich coming from me considering I bought these which were chrome, but no matter. I am a hypocrite. The vents were switched over. Those cost £14. Those were salvage from Autolink UK, who, if you are in the UK, or I think they ship worldwide as well, they are brilliant for parts. If you need anything from screws up to windscreen wipers, mirrors, that's where I bought all that from. Anything that's second hand, they're a breaker. They are brilliant. I think they're also in Scotland as well. So yeah, the demist vents, £14. Replacement eyeball vents as well. Those were £35 for the full set of 4, which I thought was quite reasonable actually, because again, the old one's totally ruined with glue and God knows what else. A replacement footwell light, because again, the glue that had stuck all the bits of chrome onto them, one of the lights was ruined because of the glue, so I had to buy a replacement. That was £10. The mesh that went behind the dashboard panel, that was £12.75. I was shocked when I looked that up in my invoices. I thought, what? For that roll of mesh, £12.75. That was madness. Replacement cubby box. Again, something I didn't film, but it's down there underneath the radio. That was again something it was destroyed by glue. The original one was totally ruined. Nothing I could do. Soaked it in all sorts of different stuff. In the end, it was bite the bullet and buy a replacement cubby box. That, you would think, tenner. £18.95. I'm not including postage on that. It was, I think it was like 25 all in, but again, we're going for the price of the parts. Replacement JVC door speakers. Those were £32.95. And what have we got left? Not a lot now actually, but these are the expensive parts. I'm not including the steering wheel. The steering wheel was 200 and some odd pounds, but that was a birthday present from my missus, so that's not included in the price, thankfully. I think we would end up probably pushing closer to, what did I say, 1,400? We'd probably be pushing closer to 1,800 I've spent this year. Anyway, the door cards. Those are magnificent. I love them, actually. I thought at first I wanted the carbon Miata ones that you get in America. Those do look amazing with the actual proper diamond stitching. They look great. I really wanted those, but from... is it MX-5 mods? I'm just going to check, actually. Just need to check MX-5 mods. MX-5 mods. I think it's mx5mods.net. Door cards. Yeah, mx5mods.net. That's where I got the door cards from. Those were £80. And trust me, they're worth every penny, because it is literally a complete replacement panel, and the leather is actually really nice on them. I quite like it. That is also where I got the speaker grills from, which I love them. They are the Unos badge, and they are machined. So I don't like telling people about this one, because I think, maybe it will appear in more people's cars now, but why not? I think they look absolutely amazing. The speaker grills were £35. I don't care what anyone says. I know that that's probably, you'll think that's a lot of money. I don't care. They look the business. I know that a lot of people like the old teardrop design and that, and yes, that was what was on Scarlet, but yeah, I thought new door cards, let's just get these new grills. As soon as I seen them, I thought, wow, they're amazing, gotta have them. So that was £35. The door pulls themselves, I think these are Jazz Performance. £50. £50 for a small piece of leather. I know. And finally, the last thing on the list, replacement wind deflector, because we had a piece of PVC which sat behind the roll bar. Say roll bar, it's not a roll bar, it's kiddie on roll bar. That's rattled and made so much noise worse than what that does, so I wanted to replace that with an OEM part, and that was £70. And that concludes how much I spent this year. I'm knackered after reading that. The big question is though, how much? So I'll get my phone out and I need to get a calculator. Bear with me, this will take a minute and I'll get the final figure. So that is 45 plus 75.75. It's a weird value, but that's what it was. Plus £18.90 plus 90 plus 79.99 plus 65 plus 30 plus 35 plus 24 plus £74.95 plus £810 plus 32 plus 185 for that fucking splitter, plus okay. You know how you know how my estimation was that I've probably spent about £1,480 this year? Well, I haven't fully finished yet, and it's more than that. Sorry about that, I had to change battery. Right, here we go then. The rest. £32.40 plus 65 plus 68 plus 40 plus 14 plus 35 plus 10 plus £12.75 plus 80 plus 18.92 plus 32.95 plus another £12.75 plus 35 plus 80 plus 50 plus 70. Oh. I'm going to need a minute. The grand total for this year, and this is basically the first year that I've actually spent any money trying to do some things to Scarlett. I said 1,480. That's it there. Yeah, that's yeah, that's I think I need a moment and I will be back. Right, I've had a moment to think about that. £2,222.71 spent on parts for Scarlett. Just parts, that's not including postage and packagings, and there's probably a few things that I've forgotten about that couldn't find receipts for because I've probably deleted them, but I think that's pretty much everything, to be honest. I don't think there is much else that I forgot. Oh, the decals, I bought them this year, but not include them, they're not parts. Yeah. That's more than I was expecting. I'm going to be completely honest, that's more. It's not bad. It's not the worst. I mean, there are people I know that spend way more money. Hi, Phil. But, yeah, well, that was 2020. I roll on 2021. Oh my God, Scarlett, what have we done? It's £2,000 and we've not even done much. God, imagine if I'd included the steering wheel, that would be £2,500. Closing in on 3, and if I had had the time to do the anti-roll bars, that would have bumped the price up even more. That would have been £3,000 in a year. Wow. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this trip down. Let's not do this again for a year. And then I might not do it then either. Yeah. I hope you have a good new year. More videos coming along. There should be either out before this or just after this. There will be a nighttime drive video. And hopefully, if the weather can stay good enough, I'll get the not a review of the Meister R's recorded as well and get that uploaded. Until then, yeah, take care, stay safe, and Happy New Year. Just go to a montage of the car looking fantastic like it did at the start of the video. Just do that. Bye.